Hey, what's up everybody? This is Justin. Today we're going to talk about panic attacks. Panic attacks are something that I unfortunately have a lot of experience in. Many years ago, I suffered from panic attacks. Many days it was very difficult to leave the house. Sometimes it was impossible to leave the house. Now listen, if you have panic attacks, listen to me. You've probably heard this several times. It's probably very irritating for you to hear this. But you're okay. You're fine. You're not gonna die. Everything's cool. This is manageable. It's treatable with or without medication. So sit your ass down because we don't have time for you to run around having these panic attacks. We gotta get to the bottom of this. What do we know? We know that medical science is telling us that a panic attack is this response, it's this system of fight or flight within the body. All right, whatever, that's cool. But perhaps panic attacks are an automatic response, a bad habit that was developed over a prolonged period of time. Panic attacks are just an automatic response to whatever it is that's triggering your panic attack. We got to restructure the way we look at panic attacks. We got to restructure the way we think about panic attacks. We need to restructure the way we feel about panic attacks. Now let me give you an example. There are some people in this world who are deathly afraid of spiders. There are other people, spiders are no concern to them. But let's look at the people who are deathly afraid of spiders. Why? Why does the mere thought of a spider inflame their nerves and they get very uneasy? Well, I think it's because at one point in their life they had a traumatic experience with a spider. A lot of people associate spiders with just this scary little creepy crawler. So maybe one day you were sitting on a chair, maybe you were laying on your bed, and all of a sudden this little thing just started crawling up on you and it scared the shit out of you. Maybe you saw the movie Arachnophobia and that scared you to death. In either case, a lot of these people who are afraid of spiders, the thought of a spider is going to regenerate the feelings that they had when they first had that negative encounter with a spider. When they see a spider, they're not going to be able to think objectively. They're not going to be able to reason. They're not going to be able to say to themselves, 98% of the time when I'm in the presence of a spider, I'm in no danger whatsoever. The panic takes over. They lose the ability to regulate their emotions. Here's another conditioning process. Think of your favorite food. For conversation's sake, let's say your favorite food is a chicken sandwich. You eat a chicken sandwich, and then a few hours later, you develop the stomach bug. And you vomit up all of that chicken sandwich, and it tastes nasty as it's coming up. A stomach bug is a very high-intensity sickness. It's very scary. A lot of people do not like throwing up. Nobody likes throwing up. When you have recovered from this stomach bug, you're no longer going to be able to eat a chicken sandwich for a pretty long while because the last thing you remember is throwing up a chicken sandwich and how nasty it tastes. You developed a lot of associations in the commission of throwing up this chicken sandwich. So now when you see a chicken sandwich, when you smell a chicken sandwich, when you even think about a chicken sandwich, your body's going to regenerate those feelings. And you're going to say to yourself, I got to stop thinking about this. I got to stop smelling it. I got to stop looking at it or I'm going to throw up. Panic attacks are no different. So when you had your first panic attack, maybe you were in the classroom, maybe you were out in public. It was a day that you were tired, a day that you were very overwhelmed. You maybe had a lot of stress going on. And your body just had a panic attack. But a panic attack is a traumatizing experience because you really truly believe that you're dying. You really truly believe that you are in a very critical situation. And it is absolutely a traumatizing experience. So after that, the mere thought of a panic attack can bring upon a panic attack. Along the way, you develop several things that trigger panic attacks, bad thinking habits that trigger the panic attacks. We gotta rewire some shit right now. Social psychologists say that it takes 60 to 66 days to develop a new habit. Now let's talk about a habit real quick. Think about people who bite their nails. When people bite their nails, they do it when they're nervous. It's an automatic response to being nervous. A lot of the time, they don't even know they're biting their nails. They have to have somebody else prompt them, quit biting your nails. In order for them to break that habit, they have to become actively aware that they are biting their nails. And they have to substitute biting their nails with something healthy, such as deep breathing. Over a prolonged period of time, 60 days, when they become nervous, if they no longer bite their nails and they automatically start breathing deeply, then they have developed a new habit. So with your panic attacks, you got to develop new habits. Now I know you're saying, when I have a panic attack, I don't think of these things. It's danger. And you're right. And this is something that's not going to happen overnight. This is not something that's going to happen over the span of a couple of weeks. This is something you're going to have to stay consistent with and work on it. The way that I did it was I went to Walmart. In my opinion, Walmart is the most overwhelming place in the world. It's very big. It's very bright with that crazy fluorescent lighting. Very crowded, very chaotic. So I would go to the back of the store, make it impossible for me to leave, and I would wait for the panic attacks. I would purposely go to places that would give me panic attacks. And even though there was a red light flashing in my mind and it would say, run, 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 when I was having the panic attack, I just sat there and I studied the way my body felt. Studied how the nerves being on fire made me feel. Studying how my breathing was. And I realized that I'm okay. And then I started deep breathing and I would tell myself, this is just an automatic response right here. This is just a habit that I gotta break. I would continue to breathe deeply. Every single time I had a panic attack, it started getting easier and easier to be able to develop these new skills. And then there came a point to where I would start having the beginning of a panic attack, and automatically I would start deep breathing. I wouldn't freak out. My mind wouldn't go to several thousand different places. And the panic attack would dissipate very quickly, and soon after, completely dissipated. You got to change the way that you think and feel about these panic attacks and develop new habits when these panic attacks come. That's all it is it's just your imagination getting the best of you, and that's it. So we can't have you running around with these panic attacks. We need you out in the world. We need you doing good things for people. We need you traveling. We need you exploring. That's the reason you're here. Nobody in this life is more important than you, all right? So let's get over this panic attack shit. Let's start working on it today. And these panic attacks are going to be yesterday's news. So get the fuck up and start working on this, because you're not going to live your whole life with this panic attack bullshit. I'm not going to allow it, all right? Now, I believe in you. Practice this. Remember, it's not going to come overnight. It's not going to come over the span of a few weeks. This is something where over a prolonged period of time, 60 days, you're going to have to try to develop these new habits. So start now. Don't start tomorrow. Don't start next week. There's no perfect time to do anything other than right now. So go be awesome, because again, nobody wants you stuck in your house. Nobody wants you shackled by the confines of panic attacks. We need you out in the world. We need you doing good things. All right? So go be awesome, and I will talk to you guys soon.